So, I am trying to do content creation and I am struggling a little bit. And so, I wanted to plot out some of my thoughts visually, and I thought that that might be a good experience to document. So, whether this video ends up going up or, whatever, or if I just keep it for myself and either look back on or never touch, whatever. But I wanted to try and document this process. Let me make sure you can see like lines that I draw. Yeah, you can. Okay. Put my keyboard a little closer to me so I can reach Control Z a little easier. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so let me hold on. I didn't know where I was going to be sitting with all this. Cut some of this. Okay, so I want to do content creation um in the realms of like YouTube and Twitch, right? That's what I want to do. Um and I'm not quite sure. And I'm not quite sure how to get there. Um or rather I know how to get there. It's okay. So I want to do YouTube and or Twitch, right? This is what I want to do. But my problem is that I don't know exactly what kind of content I want to make. And so I've looked at like what other content creators do. And the approach that really stuck out to me was Doug Doug's, right? Like his whole draws a little pepper here. I got like pepper Doug Doug. And his approach is like his whole like skill mix thing, right? Where you take like two things that you're like really fucking good at and you combine them, right? And so if I were to follow this philosophy, the sticking point would not be where to combine them. For me, the sticking point would be what even these are, right? And he talks about this a bit in his video of just like trying stuff out, going elsewhere. Um, so something I really enjoyed is that I did like a game show Kahoot, right? Uh, Loads of audience participation where I got to create a quiz, right? So I got to create an experience, and then I got to host it, right? And this is what I really enjoyed about it. Um, there was an initial Kahoot that I created. It was the one I created, and I really liked this one, right? This is the one. This is the one that I really enjoyed. And then after that, we did a couple more. Kahoots. And you know, this was fun. This was to keep like audience engagement, right? And so I really enjoyed this. But this was like the best. This was something that I really enjoyed. And so I started thinking like maybe this is what one of my things is, right? Like creating an experience and hosting that specific experience, right? I like creating, Minecraft maps for my friends, for them to go through, and that's something that I'm extremely passionate about. I'm passionate about, creating games. I'm passionate about game development, just in general. And so I've been trying to piece these things together, right? I've been trying to figure out where does all of this go. And so I have these. I have these. This is off the cuff, by the way. This is not like a planned out board at all. I'm totally winging this thought process here. So genuinely I think this might be one of my things that I'm really good at, right? So so we have this. We have make it a little bigger. Have this. Number 1 is, we'll say, creating experiences, right? Creating experiences. Okay. So we have creating experiences as one of them. Okay. And so I think before I even try to dissect this one, I'd like to jump into how, or rather why, no, I'd like to jump into what problems I've run into trying to create something purely based off of this, right? Like, I don't think hosting is my super strong suit, but it's sort of a necessity, especially if I want to be a content creator off of it. Um, and I like interacting with people, so it sort of gets carried. Anyway, so the issues with this Kahoot project that I made is Kahoot issues, right? Is that it definitely requires audience participation, which is unstable when I get views, like very low amounts of views, right? So unstable participation. I think this is the only live production issue that I ran into, right? I was standing there for about 20 minutes waiting for, like, not even like enough people. I was waiting for anyone to join in, and I wasn't getting anyone for 20 minutes. And then I got like four people. It was five at a certain point. And then we were able to kick it off, and I was able to just roll with that small amount of people, and it worked. But the problem is that it was unstable, and I can't count on even a playable amount of people, let alone a full lobby of people wanting to participate every time. And so that's difficult for this. So what I might end up doing is getting my friends to participate. Right? Okay, so let's take, I need this. So let's take you, let's move you over here. And then we're gonna, I need to deselect that. There we go. Okay, so this is over here. So we're gonna write like solutions to this. Get friends to participate. Okay, And this is a pretty clean solution to me, right? Like this solves that. Okay, and then the other issue that I'm still having is it is a slog to edit, right? Like I cannot motivate myself to edit this. And this could be something like, oh, it's just this is a difficult part that you have to deal with, but honestly it feels awful. It feels like I'm fucking Sisyphus pushing the boulder up the hill and just trying to get it up, and it's just not happening. Don't talk about how I just tried to make a square for a triangle. It's it's not happening, right? Like it's slow as fuck. Um and this so I felt I felt a spark with this, right? Like this over here, this Kahoot, the Kahoot that I made and that I got people to play, I felt a spark with this. I was able to go off of the questions. I was able to, really jump people. I was able to set things up pretty nicely. This was awesome. This was just about pleasing the crowd pretty much. Like people wanted more and I wanted them to come back. So I was like, okay, well, let's do a little more. So you're not just tuning in for this one thing. You're not just tuning in and it's a dull and it's like, wow, that was really short, and then you're gone. It's like, okay, we had some fun with other people and that was pretty great. This is not so much what I would want to do. It's more about this. And I think part of the issue is that I'm trying to edit all of this, right? Like I'm trying to edit all of it, and it's just not happening. When in reality, I should only be editing this, I think, because this is the part that I'm passionate about. Okay. Um but another issue that I'm running into is that like with with this editing process, it's like showing the video is creating a whole different experience than this Kahoot, right? Like creating the experience, seeing people's reaction live was definitely the spark. But editing it after the fact and creating a YouTube video is a little more difficult, right? It's when so I'm also making another channel um called Ramble Ranch with one of my friends, right? And it's like it's super super unserious, super like laid back. It's just us gaming and fucking around, and it's a good time. But the editing with that, I'm able to like the editing with that is about cutting out and finding the best bits that are um that I can string together. And editing this is creating an experience, right? Editing for Ramble Ranch is creating an experience. I think the issue with this is that I'm not editing to create an experience because I'm so caught up in this one, right? I think this editing is difficult because I'm stuck in the I'm stuck trying to convey what the experience of the stream was. Okay, I'm gonna make this one cut. go. The more passionate parts, the non-passionate parts. Okay. And so I'm stuck trying to perfectly convey the experience of the stream, right? And this trying to do this gets overwhelming. And so I end up just cutting the parts that I think are funny and editing like I do for Ramble Ranch. But that doesn't work here. So what I think needs to happen is I need to reevaluate the kind of experience a YouTube video offers over a Twitch stream, right? So hold on. Let's see. So with this kind of content, let's move over again. Let's do this. We'll take YouTube and then Twitch, right? I think this is the wait, if I hold it, it creates a line. I just learned something about Leonardo. This program's called Leonardo, by the way. It's really good. I got it from Adam C. Eunice. So let's just go over where we are. Okay, so we have all this. And I think the difference is that here is all about I get immediate reaction, right? How do you spell immediate before I make a fool out of myself? It's IMMED. Me. D. Okay, I was right. IMMEDEIA. Immediate reaction. Right? So here I get an immediate reaction from people. This is the this is where I put it in, right? Like this is where the experience happens. Experience happens. Right? This is where like the passion gets a reward, right? Like this is the reward that happens for it. We'll just say reward for creating, right? Okay. And so we have this. This is what Twitch is. I this is why I like streaming on Twitch. Um I wouldn't say more than I like making YouTube videos, but for specifically when it comes to that spark of creating experiences for people, this is why I like Twitch more than I like YouTube for sure. With YouTube, it's you have more control, right? For sure. But the difference here is that if you're trying to convey something on Twitch, it can't be the same, right? Because it's not live. It's people watching something after the fact. And so you can't just slap the live stream onto YouTube. That's what VODs are. And that's why VODs don't get nearly as much attention, right? You need to turn this into an experience for YouTube. And the audience is very different. People tune into Twitch for the experience of being like directly interacting with someone or watching someone directly interact with someone live. It's live TV. Here, people come to fill out dopamine, right? Like they come here for entertainment experiences. YouTube is inherently more selfish, right? Like the viewer is far more selfish. And that's not a bad thing, right? Like I love YouTube. I watch YouTube way more than I watch Twitch. That's just how YouTube is. When I watch YouTube content, I watch the content that caters to me personally, right? When I watch Twitch for the person, right? And I have streamers that I watch on Twitch. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the big streamers. It's the small ones, like my friends and the people who inspire me. That's who I watch on Twitch, and that's who I want to be on Twitch, right? But with YouTube, that's where I watch bigger creators because they put effort into these videos and to creating these experiences that cater to me specifically. Like, I'm stuck on Doug. I've been thinking about his content a lot lately. Let's take Doug again for an example, right? His stuff, his little pepper, he's got eyes. So let's take Doug, right? Doug's streams are not always a hit. He comes up with an idea basically every day, and they're not always a hit. Um, and watching him on Twitch is a fun experience because he's constantly being interactive, right? Like he everything he does is interactive with the viewers. Even when he is doing something like programming and it's just sitting there watching him program, the viewers can interact with text to speech and talk to him that way. And he looks at chat and reads chat often. He interacts that way. But he is a YouTuber first, right? His YouTube videos are about him telling stories, right? Most often it's about how a Twitch stream went. And his strength in that is from being a storyteller, right? Creating this arc of a story that I just don't have, right? Like he he does like a whole he got storytelling, right? He's really good at building up. A majority of the video is this section here, and he builds up to the climax. And then this is basically just the end. And this is where like the real meat and potatoes happens. And so when I think about what I how I can do stuff like that, it's a struggle, you know? And I don't really know what to do. But that's supposed to be a meat on a bone, but that and then looks too not safe. But and so I what he does, what he says in his philosophy is that his two strengths are storytelling and dumb challenges, right? Right? He's really good at creating dumb challenges and he's really good at storytelling. His dumb challenges is the Twitch part, right? He creates these challenges and has Twitch participate, and then he uses his storytelling for YouTube. That's how he does it. Um, Currently, I have I have a good skill for Twitch, right? I think creating experiences. It's also I would like to say that creating experiences and dumb I'm gonna say fun here just so it's not like insulting. Dumb fun challenges. I want to say that like this my thing of creating experiences I would say is different than dumb fun challenges, right? Because I'm not just about the spontaneity of it, right? And Doug is not like a off the cuff, crazy loose kind of dude with his things. Like he plans it out and he puts in a lot of fucking effort for it. Um, but it's always like dumb fun shit for him to do with chat. Whereas I want to challenge people, right? Like my goal is to create something for people to go through, overcome, accomplish something with. It's why I like making games. It's why I like making Minecraft maps. It's why I like making quizzes and like making puzzles. That's my thing. Really enjoy doing that, and I really like enjoying evoking stuff from that. Um, and so with this with Ramble Ranch, I think my editing style, I think this here is like a cornerstone into figuring this out, into figuring out what this second spark is. I think Ramble Ranch, the second spark, and how I can make it YouTubeable is all interlinked, right? I think everything here is related. But if I can figure it out, I don't know. I really so what I really like about Ramble Ranch is creating videos for that channel is almost like creating experiences, right? Because it's funny as fuck, and I like seeing reactions. Is I like when I finished editing the first video, I had like a watch party. It was great. Um, like a watch party with my friend who I run the channel with, and I listened to his reaction, and it was great. I loved that. And I really like the editing process where I show him these bits and he reacts to it. I really enjoy that. And now it's just about finding that other thing, right? And it's that's what gives me strength to edit for this is my friends' reactions to the video, right? It's really nice. Like that's what gives me the hit that keeps me going is seeing people's reaction to it. I think if I were to get to a point where reaction like React Andes and React Tubers were to watch my content, I would eat that shit up. I would love that shit. I would love people reacting to my shit. Uh, so maybe maybe instead of because the issue here is that I'm trying again I'm trying to convey the experience of the stream. Okay? And maybe and not even maybe I can't do that. I cannot do that. That is not a possible thing for me to do because they are fundamentally different. So I think what I need to do is take this editing style, cut it back, obviously, because it's like a Zoomer compilation over here. So I need to cut it back and make it a little more digestible, I think, because that's where I sit. This I definitely edit for the mix of me and my friend, me and Leo, who do this. And that's very brain rot, fast paced stuff. But on my own, when I'm on my own, my dynamic isn't quite like that. And so instead of thinking about what people would want to see from this or like trying to be like, yo, you should have been there. It was fucking awesome. I don't like that's if I'm trying to edit like this, I'm basically saying you should have been there, right? Instead, I need to give YouTube something new off of the experience. And that's what I need to do. Okay, so I'm gonna put like half a star, I think. Um, and then we'll say give YouTube something new. And you might either me or if I upload this or send it to anyone, You might be sitting here thinking like, "Fucking duh." Maybe you've been thinking that the whole time. Maybe you've been shouting that at me through the screen. Um, who knows? Who fucking knows? I know I'm quick-witted. Maybe that's why I like D&D so much, right? Because it's about creating experiences and improvising on those. I fucking love D&D. Maybe I should do a D&D show. That'd be awesome. Well, actually, the Minecraft maps are kind of like D&D shows. I've not recorded one of those before though. Well, I have recorded it. I only made a channel trailer out of it though. And I honest to God, I watched that trailer back so much. It's one of my favorite things I've ever made. Oh, it's turning into content. That's what it is. I'm making that. That's definitely gonna be a new content focus for me. Um, just arrow that because the other one was a little unclear. So, what should this new thing be, right? Well, let's go back over. It's more control, not live, and they're selfish. So I should really be editing for me, right? Right? Like this is when I do the Twitch content, this isn't necessarily content that I want to see, right? I really like there's a lot of people like Ludwig, Doug, um, other people who do like it's like the framing of like I got my chat or I got my friends to do blah 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 blah. We did this and here's how it went. And those are entertaining, right? Like Doug's has a lot of narration whereas Ludwig just like does the intro and then jumps straight into it, right? But that's how they frame it, right? But they talk to the YouTube. I think right now, as I'm editing it, I'm framing it like me in the live stream is talking to YouTube when in reality I'm talking to Twitch. So maybe I do need to add that like post stream narration over the top of like how it went. Let's give it a shot, right? So for this video, I already have a decent idea. I think what I try for this video is maybe some post stream narration. I think that's what I do. And so this is all of this, by the way, everything that I've written thus far has been largely off of just this spark. This thing that I'm really good at. This excellent fucking thing. This thing that I'm passionate about, that I'm good at. That I'm not just good at, I'm fucking great at this, honestly. I think I'm fucking phenomenal at this. Because I do it a lot. Because I have the passion to do it a lot. So I think I'm fucking good at that. And I think honestly, like I'm thinking back across my life, this comes up a lot. Framing it like this is something that I do a lot. So, and I don't really have a two. I guess my I'm like a Renaissance person, right? Like I do fucking everything. I'm versatile, I'm adaptable. I pick shit up really fucking fast. I'm quick thinking. Hmm. I'm persistent and but when I think about like I'm really good at a vast array of things, that the reason for that is to serve this. Right? I'm good at a vast array of things because I want to create so many different kinds of experiences. and that serves this, and it all comes together like this. So like on its own, I'm okay at it, but when it comes to this, oh baby. Okay, I'm gonna take a small break. I'm gonna leave the recording on, but I'm gonna take a small break and um give my brain a little break. Maybe come back to it in a sec. I'm gonna stand up and walk away for a sec. Okay. So I had some Pop Tarts, got some carbs in me because I haven't eaten anything yet today. So I think instead of trying to look for a skill to fix all of this, I think my second thing is my second spark is reading people. Or I suppose I should say observing. Right? And by observing, I don't mean like just looking, right? I mean specifically noticing things and putting pieces together to get a read on a situation, to create a profile of someone in my head, stuff like that, right? I genuinely believe that this is one of the things that I'm great at. If Doug's philosophy holds true, then you have two, and these are my two, probably, right? And so by observing, I mean like I can walk into someone's bedroom and very like seeing the things I need to see, not always the case, right? But putting the pieces together and recreating in my head the kind of person this is, I'm incredibly adept at. Um, and so I think of the show Psych, right? I think of the show Psych. The main character in Psych has really good powers of observation, right? He's hold on, sorry. He's got really good powers of observation, and he's incredibly good at like making stuff up. And the whole premise of the show is that he got in trouble and used these two things to play it like he was a psychic, and the police station that he works with has no way of disproving this because they don't observe what he observes, and he's good at coming up with a lie on the spot to cover this, right? Like because if they knew he was just really observant, then they'd be like, oh, you're just like you're still going to jail for this or whatever. We've caught you, and now we know that you're just this. But he uses his improv and his lying ability to frame his observing skills as psychic powers. And so I'm wondering, when it comes to content creation, how I can apply this, right? Because in creating content, I am not the one observing people, I am the one being observed. And there's no real way to apply it, I don't think, which sucks. But maybe there is. Maybe if I can create an experience and I can tailor it to individuals So I think these two things together put me in sort of like a like Broden Plett role. Like he's like the camera person director of offline TV, and he sets up all these things for the crew to do. Um, and he's in charge of like making them sort of personalized ish challenges for them specifically, and it makes good content. And if that's the case, maybe my main role should not necessarily be hosting, but rather it should be everything that isn't the talent. And I think that's why I like Ramble Ranch so much, because I'm usually not the talent. Like usually the gameplay is from my perspective, but it's usually Leo who's on screen making most of the jokes. Okay. So, if that's the case, if this is one of my skills, I don't think solo content is viable for me. I just don't. Um, but that doesn't have me not excited. That has me more excited because it gives me an idea of what to work with, right? Like if I know this, I'm not demoralized that I can't be, all of these content creators that I wanted to be like, because I didn't want to be like any of the content creators. I saw what they were doing and I was like, I want to do that. I don't want to be that person. I want to do that. Hold on. Where is it? I have a book of things because I bring like a notebook with me everywhere, and I was trying to figure out. I was thinking about this another day too, of like things that I'm really good at and stuff, and I have like a list of things that I like to do, and so let's go through and see if I can. Where did I put my pen? What? That's no, that's like an actual pen. Where's the? Oh, there it is. There we go. Okay, so let's see if most of these fit into these two things, right? Um, D&D, that's definitely creating experiences for sure, for sure, for sure. Um, Making music, I would say that's. I think creating experiences is an extension of like self-expression. Oh shit! My tablet. No, stop. Both of the legs decided to fold in at different times. Okay, so I think okay, I'm gonna erase. No, I'm gonna keep observing there just for now. Um, so I think creating experiences is an extension of self. Why are we? Why are we like this? Oh, there we go. Ah, they weren't all the way out. That's why. Self expression, right? So it's an experience of self expression, and I don't fucking know. That's not important. I don't think so. But if creating experiences is a facet of self expression, which I believe it is, then making music is part of that. Hardcores, which is the Minecraft maps, yep, that's absolutely creating experiences. Game dev, that's creating experiences. Drawing. So here's the thing. I got really into doing art because I wanted to make comics, right? I think that's a I think that's I think that's creating experiences. And I still like doing art as again a facet of self-expression and creating experiences. And so let's do that to get back in. And so I think that's a facet of creating experiences. Editing, definitely creating experiences. Writing songs, creating experiences. Self-expression. I don't think self-expression is. I pointed at the screen like you can fucking see it. I don't think self-expression is like a thing that is a spark. I think everyone does that. Creating characters, creating experiences, giving people satisfaction over something hard, over doing something hard, accomplishing something hard. That's definitely creating experiences. Seeing others' creativity, I think, is more observing. Writing dialogue. Honestly, this one might fall into both. Because I'm good at creating experiences and I'm really good at conveying. Like the thing that I'm excellent at when it comes to writing dialogue is conveying the character, right? Like none of the characters that I write s- sound like me unless I want them to. They sound like whole nother characters, and I'm really fucking good at writing dialogue. I'm also good at describing things with evocative imagery. I would call that creating experiences. Playing story games. I really like playing story games like Undertale, Deltarune, and experiencing these worlds. I might put that under observing. Pixel art, creating experiences, animation, experiences, competitive games. I like getting better at competitive games. I don't think that falls into either of these. I think that's about self improvement. Um, Organizing things. I'm just a little OCD. I don't know if that falls into one or the other. Programming, problem solving. I do like doing that. Okay, so we're seeing another pattern here. I'm gonna call it. No, I was gonna call it OCD, but I think I'm gonna call it instead like um yeah, I'm gonna call it puzzler. Puzzler. And so I think I don't exactly know what this means yet, but we're gonna use this as a catch for some of the things. So like organizing, programming, problem solving definitely fall into puzzler. Environmental storytelling, big creating experiences. Environmental storytelling is one of my favorite things to do. Improving at skills, I might call this puzzler also. Voice acting, self-expression, creating experiences, I guess. Photography, creating experiences for sure. You might think observing, but no, it's creating experiences, absolutely. Listening to music, um, I don't think falls in here. I think that's self-expression, honestly. Playing physical games, oh, puzzler for sure. Noticing small details about people, observing, yep. One-time experiences, like urban exploration, outer wilds, yeah. I don't know. Say Undertale. I think that falls under this. Making puzzles, creating experiences. Making experiences, creating experiences. Yep. Um, Doing demanding things for attention. So this is stuff like eating paper, which I used to do in school. Um, I would do like ludicrous challenges to get people to give me attention. Um, okay. But I don't want that to be what I do, right? Like I don't want my personal content that is a reflection of me to just be like, oh, haha, I did funny challenge. Because it's not, because it shouldn't be. Because it shouldn't be. Okay. So we have these. I'm going to respond to some messages real quick. Okay. Damn it. So with that, so I'm not sure if these two might be facets of this. And that might be because they are like inspiration and consuming material for the thing that drives this. Right? Like playing these games, doing these puzzles, organizing, they might not be their own separate thing. They might be things that I do to consume so that because this just doesn't run off cuff, right? I think that's what it is. So I'm the more I think about it, the less confident I am in observing being one of them, being one of my sparks. I'm not sure if it's a facet of something larger or something like that, or maybe I just don't want it to be because it doesn't serve content very well. Hmm. A lot of I've seen a few content creators write down why like tell new content creators to write down why you're doing content, right? And I don't really fully know why I want to do content so bad. If it comes from a place of trying to avoid like a blue or white collar jobs or fast food work or you know any other kind of job, then the content I create, you know, like it shouldn't matter to me, right? Like it should be the money. But it does matter to me. So it's not from that, at least not fully. Um Man, this is difficult. So much of what I do goes into this. Honestly, I don't even know if I have. a second, or if I do, I don't know it yet. So I don't think number two is something I can figure out just yet. I think I think number one is stone solid. I think I'm very confident in creating experiences. But I have nothing for this currently. And I don't think I can come up with this right now. I don't think I have enough info on myself. So I think what needs to happen is I need to work on getting content out, trying new things, and just keeping it going. So for YouTube this week, for the video of the Kahoot, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in some post-stream narration, and I'm going to cut the parts that weren't about my quiz, because I already cut out the Jackbox parts that came way after, but I didn't cut the other quizzes out, and I think I want to, because I think shorter form suits me better. Because this is I just can't do it. I can't get myself to do it. And so with this to this post stream narration, I think okay, and then I think another problem is creating experiences takes a long time. And so if I want to follow my schedule, then like weekly uploads, I can't. I need to find something that I can do for this. And what I think it might be is, especially with Minecraft um and D&D and stuff, what I think needs to happen is episodic stuff. I think that's what needs to happen, because one of my favorite series of videos, and the reason that I call the adventure maps that I make for my friends hardcores, is because of Peanut Butter Gamer's Minecraft Hardcore series, where it's him and his friends just trying to accomplish a goal in Minecraft, and it's hardcore, and you have everyone's POV. Um, and there's real stakes, because if they die, they're out forever. And I find that very entertaining. And it's episodic, and I really enjoy it. So that might be something I can do. I can't do Kahoot again. I think that's why, in the field of creating experiences for Twitch, I think that's why software and game development creators have a leg up, because they're able to work with the tools in the interface that allows them to talk to the audience a lot more and get the audience to participate a lot more, like creating an AI or something to go against them or something else. Maybe coming up with stuff on the spots, right? I don't know if it's a spark, but it might be enough to combine with this. Okay, so with all of this in mind, let's create a plan of action, right? So, oh my God, plan of action is so we're going to cut the fat off the Kahoot video. And so when I do plans of action, I like to have two different kinds of sections, two different kinds of items, things that I can do immediately and things that I can do for the future. So we'll do the immediate things first. So I can do that. I can I can try narration. Okay, and then come up with next experience. Okay, so these things I can do immediately. Overall, let's continue searching for that second spark. Refine streaming ability. Start planning a schedule. Yep. Start planning a schedule. And then start creating Minecraft. I should say start creating long form experiences. Okay. Now over time. Okay. Just over an hour. I feel pretty good about this. Okay. Alrighty. I'm gonna stop the recording now. That was very helpful for me.